Hey, everybody. This looks a little different, like they did an update or something. They did do an update on StreamYard. It's totally different. Great. Welcome in. Hey, and I'm sorry I was not here yesterday, guys. I had a bad, bad headache yesterday. But the good news is I set up my booth. What are you doing over there? Why didn't you come set up here, Elena? I set up my booth at Southern Goods. I don't have it fully finished, but I've got all the clothes that I want set up. Now I have jewelry and shoes that I tagged last night since I took the night off. I sat on my couch. There is crap all over my living room right now because I set up I tagged so many shoes and jewelry, pieces of jewelry last night that I'm going to take this weekend to the booth. So I'm really excited about this, just more so because it gives me some social stuff, able to be more social in public with people. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. It actually could be a horrible thing for me. I just realized that in real time. Hey, mods. Hey, Charcoal Ninja. JoJo made it. Robin Miners. Love you, babe. Meredith Lynn. And definitely, I don't know if she's here, but prayers for Angie Moe. Prayers for baby steps, too. I'm not going to say why, but if you would, just, we love her and she's family, if you would. Case Face, welcome in. Yeah, Angie Moe, I'm not going to share prayers and why unless she wants to do that, but big prayers for Angie Moe. She's a huge part of this family, and we need to really gather around for that. Unless it's in here and I don't know. Maybe it is. Stacy Toms, hey babe, I don't want to share people's business though. But I don't think she would care if I asked for prayers. And just well wishes. If you don't pray, that's okay too. I never prayed before either as a Scientologist. And I always thought it was cringy and weird when people would be like, can you please pray for them? I'd be like, no, because I don't know what that means. And I don't feel comfortable doing so. So if you're that person, of course, you're not a Scientologist. But if you don't pray, just what I say, like Care Bear vibes, healing vibes, anything like that. Well wishes. You know what to do. Hey, Diana H., also for you. Donna Cooper, thank you. I'm much better today. I woke up without a headache today. I didn't even have to do anything. I did take an Advil last night. I was ovulating, which, sorry if that grosses you out. It shouldn't, after I saw that guy spitting tobacco into a cup that was see-through that I could see the other day in public. Talking about ovulating really should be the most mild. I mean, I'm practically a nun. Okay. But I was ovulating and I was telling Tommy this. Speaking of, hi, Love Bunny. I was ovulating and, did I see Nora's stream got taken down? No, I did not. That's concerning. And sometimes for me, guys, ovulating is worse than my actual period. And that was the case yesterday. I will get bad headaches and I was cramping, like my whole uterus was trying to kill me. Hey, West Coast Fancy Nancy. And I woke up feeling much better. Hey, old Charlie. Hey, Suzanne White, welcome in. Hey, Liz Tricks. Yeah, Stacy, if you would. Care Bear vibes for Angie Moe. Thank you, Robin Miners. Guys, yeah, if you would. Hey, Joel Sachs. I love Joel Sachs. He's so nice. Susan Trigg, welcome in. Hey, Rain Virus Panda. Hey, Gemini Girl. Tiffany Murfitt. Your grandson's on the respirator, now off the CPAP and on to just a nasal cannula. That's amazing. And that makes me think so much of Anna Banana's strong grandson. He's going to be okay, I promise. I know he's going to be okay. And I love to hear that, babe. Thank you for updating us. Hey, Reflections. Hey, Ewa, Rachel, Sandy, Buffy, Blessed Gloria, Armine. Hey, Barbara Waits. Oh, yeah, right. Thanks, babe. Do you guys ever feel like I'm accusing you of something when I yell at you like that? When I'm like, blee, 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 Armine! Like, do you feel like you're like, oh my God, what just happened? Am I in trouble for something? No, I just get overly excited to see you guys. And I don't think you mind it or you wouldn't be here, right? I think that it sheds light on your soul. And if you don't feel it, you don't have a soul. So none of those people are here, except the lurkers, except the haters. I forgot to say hello to you guys as well. Hey, Beard. Hey, Dirty Beard. Anita Card. Joanne Hawley, I love you, babe. You love this shirt? Dang, Rain, I love sardine stuff lately. And this is the tattoo I want, by the way. I want to get a sardine tattoo. And I want it to look kind of old school and vintage like this. And I would even do it in color like this. I love like bright red and blue. If that's even doable, who knows? And I don't have anywhere to put it because I won't tattoo my lower arms except this one that I have. So I'm thinking I'm going to put it underneath my tattoo on one of these arms. And that's like sounds horrifically painful. And it's probably going to be really, really. Are those sardines? Where's the cream? Oh, God. Hey, Riley's Human, Alana Grody, but cool pictures, Alana, that I saw on Facebook. Hey, Wisconsin Barb. Hey, Honey Lou, Marie Marion. How behind am I? Whoa, Reese, catch up, girl. Catch up. Hey, Squirrel Girl, Lucky Martin made it. Thank you, Joel Sachs. Nancy Sitchin. She's still here. Did I miss her? Oh my God, I love Nancy. Thank you for being here, Nancy. She's a good friend of mine. Another one that I've been praying for, and you can do that too. That would be wonderful. Nancy, I love you, and I'm happy to see you. Hey, Allie. Leslie made it. I never get to see you anymore. Hey, Leslie, Irish Mart, HBH, thank you for your email, and I just responded to that. Hey, Kim is Blue. Hey, Jeannie Hansen. Thanks, Jeannie Hansen. We made it. Marissa Martin's here. I love that. Good vibes for all from a non-prayer. That is totally acceptable and loving and kind. And I just love Marissa Martin anyway. Yeah, guys, I don't judge you or care if you don't pray. I didn't pray for the first 40 years of my life. So no judgment. And again, I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable with that because people who would come up to me and be like, do you know the Lord? I'd be like, I don't, and you're scaring me and I'm going to get the hell out of here. So I do know the Lord now, but that doesn't mean you have to. So thank you for the non-prayers as well. Hey, Tony P, love you, babe. Babe, you weren't supposed to tell everybody that. I took a picture of chewing tobacco guy and it was the scariest thing. It's because I had to look at it. I was like, you have to look at it because I have to look at it. Catherine B, you look really cute. You changed your background picture color. The pink is pinking. I'd let it completely fade. Oh, I can't wait to see that on Sunday's Zoom, babe. Thank you, Robin Miners. West Coast Fancy Nancy, glad you're feeling better. Thank you. So, Nancy, I love you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you for the super chat. Hey, Linda Garden Lady. Just stopped in to say hi. Bye, Lucky. It was good to see you. Hey, Debbie Zito, Chickacheri Cola. Joe Virus is also here. Hey, Joe. Guys, I'm getting there. Stephanie with a PH. I wouldn't have known when I was ovulating if the egg sent me a text message. Damn it. See, it's people like you that make me mad. Nobody knows. I'm like the only person that gets painful ovulation. There's like 3 of us on planet Earth. It's like how many people live in Montana? There's only 3 people there. Same with Wyoming. I'm pretty sure there's like 2 to 3 people there. And I happen to be the one that ovulates. Of course that would happen to me. And it hurts. It hurts. I always can tell. Not also because I'm a slip and slide, right? But I know when I'm ovulating, I usually get, if it's bad, like it was yesterday, I always get cramps. I always get cramps like I would a period. Lucky me. Twice a month. Lucky Tommy, really. Poor man. Please also just send prayers for him. Hey, Kirsty Collins. Bunny Foo-Foo. Hey, babe. Renee B. And then I get, if it's bad, I get a really bad, it's a headache that is very specific. Like the second I got it, I was like, oh yeah, I'm ovulating. I can tell. Hey, Jody, Leslie, thank you for the super sticker, babe. That is so nice of you. Jan Gould, you have a cute picture. I like the hair color. I like the style and I love the lip stain, Jan. First time here, everybody. Welcome, Jan. I hope she's still here. I got really behind. Hey, Puka Vista, Kelly B. Damn, I'm really behind. Yell at me, Reese. I kind of like it. Stacy Switchblade Toms. I don't just yell at you. I sing at you. A happy birthday. P. Taylor. What's Sardine thing again? I forgot. Tommy's father, who was very close to me. He was alive and knew me well. I'm just changing the story now because the haters are like, Reese is a liar. And she said that Tommy's dad knew her. We were best pals. We golfed all the time, guys. So what I like to do when the haters like do this to me, I like to just rub it right in and go into agreement with them and say, that's right, everybody. I'm a liar. Hey, Chef Brian, Mrs. Carson. He was not. I did not know Tommy's father, but now we're going to just change the story up. Nancy is still here. What a baby pudding pop. Nancy is everything but the wings. I don't know if you guys know that. Tommy's dad, Moose, Sweet, sweet man. Knew him well. Knew him better than he knew himself, really. Hey, Linda. No, and bless his soul. And hey, Tashbits, why are you looking so cute? Am I? I don't think so. I don't think so, but thank you. Hey, Tennessee girl. Hey, I rule. Uh, like your lipsticks too, says Jan. Damn, girl, you're cute. I like Jan already a lot. I hope she doesn't leave us. Hey, Lumen. Jan gave us money. Dang, girl, you're here to stay. Come on. You don't just fork over $5 if you're not here to actually be here and participate. She's the rest. She's with us. She's with us. She's family. Thank you so much, Jan. That is so nice. Hey, Marty Jewel. Again, Reese. Okay, I must be really behind. No, I'm really catching up. Hey, Raspberry Beret. Fen Jinberg. Hey, Fen Jinberg. Tommy's father, again, he and I just so close. Oh, he would say things like, he would say to Tommy and Johnny, or the rest of his children, because I don't know, I wasn't there. He would say, you're a sardine or something like that along those lines, because people either love you or they hate you. And I really like that saying because, hey, Mop Man, my mom, I actually did know my mom, so I can't tell this story. I do know my mom, actually. Her name's Diane. Nice lady. She's an Aries, in case you were wondering. Hey, cheap chick, whine a little bit more. My mom would always look at me, make this face. Yes, Jan, you're amazing. Hey, Guyton girl. She'd make this face and she'd go, ooh, Reese, not everybody's going to like you. And she'd make that like cringe face. She's been doing it since about the age of 18 for me when I got back into my mother's life. Hey, Dan, the breaking news man. And she would do that. And she would go, ooh, not everybody's going to like you. And she'd go, you're not going to be for everybody. And I would go, I'm not really sure what that means. It sounds horrible, but I've thought that way my whole life. So then when the moose came around into my life, when he and I would hang out and play golf. Hey, Lisa Renfro. Thank you, Lisa Renfro. He says, you're a sardine. People either love you or they hate you. Now, I don't eat sardines, and I think that's accurate. I don't think anybody in this world is like, sardines? Yeah, I like eyeballs in my salad. Throw some in there. Put it on my pizza. I love a good spinal cord of a fish on my pizza pie. No, I think he's absolutely spot on. Riley's Human says she likes me. Hey, Jeanette, bought a sardine bath mat at World Market the other day. Really? I need to go. Well, I need to go get one. I want one. Well, why didn't you tell me? You have my email. How come you didn't say anything? Yeah, hit the thumbs up, everybody. Nobody hates you except the hate machine. Ooh, I like that. That could be a movie title. Martin, that was profound. That is so true, guys. I'm going to say that to Huxley. Nobody hates you except the hate machine. Thank you, old Charlie. Sardines are cute, but I don't eat them either, Susan. No, but I think this is such a cute little look, this little old school sardine tin or can or whatever you call it. And I want that tattooed on me. I just think it's really fun. And I love what Tommy's dad said, even though I didn't actually meet him, but for some reason, the world thinks that I lie about that for some benefit or gain, which I'm not sure what that would be. What kind of gain would I get from saying that? Oh, I remember nothing. And they just love to hold shit against me just to look cool, but it doesn't work out because you have to cover your mouth when you laugh. You know why, and so do I, sicko. Oh, speaking of sicko, you eat sardines, Linda? Ooh, ha. How do you feel about foie gras? Come on, Marissa Martin. Hey, Randy Pearson, thank you. So what was I going to say? Oh, so Huxley is on spring break this week. I'm actually glad I took yesterday off. It's been a really fun week spending time with Huxley. He's been doing some little odd jobs for people, including my dad. Thank you, Yadira. And making money this week. It's been a really nice temperature all week. We had lunch together today. We spent the day together. We're going to do some things together tomorrow. He helped me set up my booth. Yeah, Jan, I do not eat fish at all. As a matter of fact, guys, this is a true story. I've never had fish. Hey, JR. I fished when I was little, and we would take them home. And thanks, JR, my dad would cook them in the kitchen, like skin it and cook it. And I felt like he was Hannibal Lecter, not in the good way, not in the good kind of way. And no, Kim is Blue. We went to Chipotle. Debbie Zito bought us Chipotle, actually. She sent Huxley and I a gift card a while back, and I used it today, and we got to have lunch on Debbie. It was so nice of her. Hey, BB Bean. Eaglewood. Interesting, Eaglewood, and welcome in. You prefer fish, Jan? I do not. I've never had fish. So I hated the smell. He would catch and cook walleye, and it was so gross to me. So I've never had it. I've never had shrimp. I've never eaten any of that. And I don't want, hold on just a second, guys. Oops, she sent me a movie. That's not, oh, 2 movies. I'm not going to be able to watch that. Do you have a goat? Jan, I don't. I live in the country and I have cattle all around me, and baby cows are sprouting up everywhere, and they're so cute. And I walk out and talk to them. And I actually, when I filmed that short this morning of Bo, that was cute. I went outside and, hey, NB, welcome back. And I had my coffee, and Bo was just out there with his little bone, and it was so cute. Before I go into work mode, I wanted everyone to know that I took care of that pesky problem with the manager at First Watch. Okay. Time to go into work mode, babe. Love you. That's quite enough. And hopefully no one saw that stream. I think they did. It was about 4,000 views, actually. The baby cows are so cute. Yeah, we have a bull named Jeff with a PH. Whitefish is good. You'll never get me to do it. You'll never get me to do it. I will not eat fish. I hate the look. I'm a texture girl, guys. I'm not eating slime. I'm not into eyeballs. I am not a cannibal. And Jan, just to be fair, I really don't eat a lot of meat either. In the summer, I'll eat a really good BLT with an heirloom tomato. I don't eat chicken anymore at all. I tried to the other day and I nearly lost. It made a comeback. And then if there's like a really expensive steak, thank you, NB, I will do that maybe twice a year. But otherwise, I really don't eat any meat. It makes me feel like Hannibal Lecter. Again, not in a good way. I say not in a good way because we all, hey, FAFO, I have a raging crush on Hannibal Lecter. And he was my first love. And so when I say not in a good way, I mean not in a good way. Because well, hey, Haggis. I love Hannibal Lecter. And I think he loves me back, to be honest. It's a whole other thing I haven't worked through in therapy yet. Not even crab? Oh, God. Jeannie Hansen? No. And especially not lobster. Do you know that lobsters mate for life? You might as well be eating a penguin. Do you feel good about yourself, Jeannie Hansen? No. And I think you should go sit down and think about what you did. P. Taylor? Yeah, no. Does Bo bark at the cows? Yes, he does. He's been like charging the cows, like big bulls. And of course they don't care. They laugh at him. Everybody cackles at him in the neighborhood of all the cattle. But it's sad, and it's, it's something that we work through. And again, now I have to get Bo a therapist. I have some sad things actually to discuss, everybody. Who doesn't love Hannibal Lecter? He's witty, Biggie Cat. Well, I don't love him because he's witty. Although he is witty. I don't know what it is. I like old men. Like, that's what I'm into. And I think that could be why. Mixed with some potential father issues. I mean, I don't know. Hey, Karen Doll. I don't know that I have dad issues. I mean, why would I? I had the strongest relationship with mine, and he loved me so. Hey, Mark. When my husband died, he told my 2 sons not to let me make a zoo out of our house. Jan, that is so sweet. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you lost your husband. That is so something that one of my husbands would have said. I have a husband that died as well, but I've been married many, many times, Jan, more than we can actually keep track of, to be honest. But they're out there, and they have their own stories to tell, don't they? But this one in particular would also say, please don't turn the house into a zoo. But he doesn't get those kinds of choices or options. Yeah. I didn't see Hearts in Atlantis, Barbara Waite, and I'm kind of surprised. Jan, I love animals. You and I could probably live together. I honestly love animals more than anything in this world. Hannibal Lecter was killing and eating people, and you love him. But take one baseball bat to one rotten employee, and all of a sudden you're a monster. When you put it like that, My knees just got weak. Babe, when you Tony Soprano it, I'm just kidding. I get really turned on. I love marrying serial killers. Like it's super hot. And then that way too, I don't have to testify. So it's really win-win. I have a plan, you old silly goat. You silly old bear. You old silly goose. Babe. No, that turns me on. My husband died of Agent Orange brain cancer. Holy hell. Jan, can we? I hope you'll accept some prayers, Jan. Definitely prayers for you. And I'm so sorry. I can't think of much worse. Just cancer in general. That's horrific. And Jan, you are in good company. There's a lot of people here with cancer. That's one of the things I was going to make an announcement about, actually. So, Jan, we are with you, and I understand. And thank you for sharing that with us. Mimi, happy early birthday tomorrow to you, babe. And Buffy had a birthday yesterday. I was really down yesterday with my headache. Somebody else had one. I'm going to lurk, I promise. Love you, babe. Thank you, guys. Yeah, if you would, prayers for Jan. You're in really good company, Jan. If you stick around, you will find that this is an incredible community. It really is. These are like everybody's made friends here, like in real life, even. Like I've met a lot of these people, but a lot of these people became friends with themselves, with other people where they live. It's a whole thing, Jan. I know it was yesterday if Dearest Pepper is available. May I get a happy birthday from her? Absolutely. Buffy, you can. A great request, honestly. Jan, you love animals. Get ready to meet your best friend. Excuse me, Francine. Yesterday was Buffy's birthday, and she was wondering if you could tell her happy birthday. Jan, I have to talk in this creepy, weird voice when we hold her because that's just the way the Lord wanted it. Unbelievable. A happy birthday to Buffy and everybody else. Somebody else had a birthday yesterday. Gorgeous. Happy birthday from Pepper to Buffy. Hey, Eric. Really perfect in every way. I know you were napping, but did you know that you were tawny? Did you know that the Lord looked at you and said, "Let there be frosted mini wheats with eyeballs"? Yes, he did. I know it's a lot. Lisa Renfro, of course you do. The Lord, every morning we wake up. Every morning your hair looks like this. Let's be real. Let's make it look the way it looks. Every morning we wake up and she looks like this. And it's all crazy. And hey, Neptunes. And the Lord looks at her and we start talking to the Lord in the mornings, what we're thankful for and whatnot. And the Lord looks at her and goes, "Oh my me. Oh my me. That is the most incredible creature I've ever created there on earth." Jan, that's so cute, babe. And then Jesus looks at the Lord and Jesus goes, "Oh my dad. Unbelievable dad. Unbelievable creature." And then Punky says, also, "Oh my me," because she says, "I'm better than everybody here. I should be up sitting next to Jesus and the Lord because I am everything but the wings they sent me here, but I can judge anybody because I'm better than everybody." Punky, that's not what they said, and I'm pretty sure that wasn't the message in the Bible. Oh, it's a lot, Miss Sunrise Dawn. It's a lot. And look at these footy paws, and she came out of a Dr. Seuss story. So Buffy, happy birthday, Buffy. Can you kiss your mom and tell Buffy happy birthday and whatnot? Look right into the camera, please. Okay, good, Jan. I was hoping that this would push you over the edge. Jan, if you meet her and leave, it's definitely a reflection on you, girl, not us. Because anybody that sees this thing that looks like it fell out of a pet net, like, is it even real, Jan? Jan, take a good look, Jan. Is it even real? Are you even real? She says, "Don't put me on display like some trinket on a shelf, damn it." She says, "I was born next to Christ. The three wise guys came and brought gold and frankenfur. And they pointed to the North Star and everything. Don't put me on display like I'm a human." Oh, sorry. Happy birthday to Buffy. You can go back to sleep now. Jeez. So yeah, Jan, I would just like to say that I don't call myself stable. Hey, power lies to paralyze. Hey, Lil Redneck. Who else had a damn birthday yesterday? Somebody else also, I have to fix my bra. Somebody else had a birthday. I know Kim is blue. So, hey, Mittens, welcome in. Buffy, I hope that was a grand enough happy birthday for you because you deserve it. You know, when Armine had a birthday, hey, Pat Jonas, I recorded a whole video and sent it to her, but I had to because that's her goddaughter. Armine is Gertie's godmother. Being stable is incredibly overrated. So guys, we're gonna do a stream today, and I have some things I want to say. I am far from stable. I had 2 horses too. Jan, that's incredible. My parents have horses and donkeys, and I look at them and they're just so majestic to me. It's insane. Anita Card. Why am I forgetting Anita Card? Good Lord. But then I feel like there was one other person. It was Anita. Look at how she's like, it was me. She turned 50 yesterday. Now I remember. Anita, I would have not forgotten this. It's because I had a horrible headache. And I'm so sorry. I love you, Anita. Hey, Kat. Guys, yesterday was Anita Card's birthday, and she is like an original member of this family. And I love her so much. And happy birthday. And she thinks 50 is old. And I think that's hilarious. I love you, Anita. Sorry. I'm sorry. I really am. Yesterday, any day, because you know, I stream pretty much every day. So if I don't stream, it throws me off. Like everything's off. My real life is off because I'm so used to talking to you guys. So I'm sorry, Anita. I really am. Hey, Katie did it. Crafty Carrie. I was like, there's somebody else. There's somebody else. I just saw Crafty Carrie. Hey, Crafty Carrie. Jane and Mike here. Can't wait for the show. Thank you, Jane and Mike. Welcome in, guys. Thank you, Liz Tricks, for the minutes being taken. Kyla, that's hilarious. Jody Edwards, thank you, babe. Guys, look at Jan. Damn, she's locked in. Jan just became a member. You know what that means. You're really grandfathered in at this point, Jan. You can't leave us. So thank you for being a member, Jan. You're an angel, and I mean it. I absolutely love people who come in here and chat with us and engage, and especially when it's new people. I love meeting new people. And the new people, or the original people who've been here for, hey, Megan Roberts, love meeting new people as well. This is an amazing community. Don't be sorry. You talk to 95 million 100 people a day. Yeah, but I love you, Anita Cardin. You know what's really upsetting? I had that on my calendar from last year. I put your birthday on my calendar and I saw it on my calendar. And so I have no excuse there. And I'm sorry. I love you. Neptune's is 71. That's still not old. I know. Where'd that go? I said the same thing. Love your lip color in your photo, Jan. I do too. It looks, she pulls that off, Rain. I have a lip stain in that light pink. I cannot do it. I just bought that light pink blush. I'm excited to try. I can't do it. I've tried it on my lips. As a matter of fact, Rain, I wore it one time on stream. Do you remember that? It was like a year and a half ago. And do you remember, Rain? Like all of us were like, ooh, yeah, I don't like it. Tons of people left comments after and they were like, yeah, of all your lip stains, that one does not work for you. It's just, I love that light pink color, but for whatever reason, it does not go with my skin tone. I bet you remember that, Rain, because I think we talked about it. And I honestly don't like today's makeup choices either. I don't like the pink eyeshadow with the red lip. I'm not feeling it at all, but I also just feel tired. Okay, so I found something. I am so grateful, Jan. Thank you for being a member. You don't remember that, Rain? Interesting. I swear we talked about it. I found something. I was going through stuff yesterday because I needed to find tape. I could not find tape, and I needed it for tagging all my stuff to put in the booth. So I never did find tape, which sucked. And you know what? I went out today and I should have stopped at the damn dollar store and bought some. It's annoying. I should have done that. I did find something, though, that made me really depressed. And then I got some really bad news, and I wanted to share that as well. I guess I'll share that first. My sister, Sam, as you guys know, you guys have met Sam in the chat. She was diagnosed, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago now. Thank you, Lil Redneck, with breast cancer. And I read her text to you guys because she said I could. She, of course, gave me consent. I don't share other people's business without their consent. But I read the text and she was saying like, I don't think I'm in the weeds. I think it's going to be okay. The oncologist had high hopes. I think it's like stage 2 or something. It's not farly advanced, if that's a word. Um, and she asked for prayers and we did that. And I want to continue to pray for her, of course. She did send me a text though. Happy birthday, Muzi, on March 10th. She sent me a text. Thank you, BB Bean, and said, she just found out that I wish Baby Steps were here, but she's not. But I've got a lot of nurses in my chat. I don't know how to say this, so I'm just going to read it. She said, my tumor is 5 centimeters big and is in the lower right quarter of my left boob. She cannot do a lumpectomy because she won't be able to close it. So she has to have a mastectomy. And so, yes, Jan, I've heard that too. She is going to do chemo, but she's freaked out about the mastectomy. And so I just wanted to share that. It's more advanced than they thought. The beautiful thing about her is, as most of you know, she and I were not in touch with each other for the last 20 years. She's not been in my life. She was like Tommy, she was how would you put it? I don't want to be offensive. Hey, Sharon Marks, thank you. She was a pretty heavy drug addict. That's how I would put it. She was a very heavy drug addict. I couldn't have her in my life for that reason, obviously, right? I had a child and I just didn't want to be around that. I did drugs with her when I was 16 and I've been clean since I was 19. I just don't want to be around that. And so she did some jail time and I'm not even entirely sure everything she's been through, but she is clean. She is sober. And I'm really, really, really impressed and proud. And all has been forgiven. I love her. She's my sister. Hey, Melissa. And I would like to go see her at some point, but I am really proud of her. And I'm anybody that gets sober. We talked about this the other day. And so many people have battled addiction, right? Like a lot of people. And I don't care if it's illegal addiction. I don't care if it's a food addiction, money addiction, gambling, whatever it is. Hey, Sierra Terry. I love a story of fighting an addiction. I really do. And we all know Tommy fought addiction for a long time, like Sam, both heroin users. She also was a meth user. And so she has fought long and hard, and she went through rehab and she's clean. And she and I had some really deep conversations, and she emailed me, and I'm proud of her. And I'm proud to be her sister and proud of anyone who fights and battles addiction, because a lot of people lose that fight. So good for you, NB. Yes, Liz Tricks, I was thinking about you too, just in connection with this. When you started this channel, you said the two of you would never speak again. I'm so glad you were wrong about that. I am too. Marissa Martin, thank you for pointing that out. That makes me feel good. I am too. I love a person who can battle addiction, and I love a story that has a happy ending, like she and I connecting back up as sisters. So if we could just continue to pray. Thank you, Pat Jonas. And the main thing I love, again, I'm not trying to make anyone feel weird. If you don't believe in God, I didn't either. It's totally okay. And I would never push that on anyone. But thank you, Viggy. I just want to say she has said some things. I don't know yet, Kim is Blue. She has said that she's good with God, that she has God in her life. And she was like, no matter what happens, I'm good with God. And so I really, really love that. And I feel the same way. If something were to happen to me, I've said that if I were to die, I feel really good about where I've been and where I'm going and my connection with God. So I find that to be such a peaceful feeling for her, and I can feel it from here. So, hey, Joan Marie, I just want to say thank you. Thank you. Hey, Lacey Silver, thank you for everyone who prays and who doesn't send non-prayers. I like how we worded that. Just non-prayers as well. Anything like that. I believe in that very strongly. So I wanted to share that because it's on my mind and it's made me very sad. And Sam just had her birthday on March 6th. So I think she's 54, 53 or 54. She's 12 years older than me, and I'm going to be 42 in a few months. So I'm not sure. Thank you, Kirsty Collins, but she's in her early 50s. So she's very, very young, and I really, really hope everything works out for her there. As they're going to take some lymph nodes just to be safe, and I mean, I know that's got to be crazy to have a mastectomy, but at the same time, if that takes care of it, then ship shape, you're done. I don't. I would just want the cancer gone. Jan, are you live every night? Great question. So I have an itch. God, you guys, my allergies have been bad again. And I feel like I have cat hair, like nesting, like a tuft of cat hair right here. And I don't. And I was doing this all night last night. It was making me crazy. Do I go live every night? Pretty much, Jan. I say this. I typically, unless something comes up, I usually go live every day. I know, Liz, a mastectomy saved Liz's life. I typically go live every day, except about, I usually say 2 to 3 days a month. So, Jan, this Sunday, the last Sunday of every month, we have on this channel a Zoom call. And it's for the upper 3-tiered upper members of this channel. Jody, I'm so sorry. Thank you, Jody. And so the last Sunday of every month, we do a private Zoom call for those members of the channel. So this Sunday, I will not be streaming because it's a long Zoom call. It usually goes for a long time. It's many hours. And then outside of that, I usually take 1 or 2 days off a month just to stay sane most of the time. Thank you, Tamber June. So to answer your question, Jan, I usually, and so I'm on Central Time. I don't know what time zone you're in, but I go live almost always between 4 and 6 p.m. Going live now at 6:05 tonight was a little later for me than I normally do. I typically try to do about 4:30 to 5:30. And then we usually stream for about 2 hours. It just depends, but usually about 2 hours. So yeah, you'll catch me pretty much every day of the month, except at least one day. Hey, Gogo the Greek. Good to see you, babe. And then outside of that, there might be another day or two. Okay, Jan's in Texas. Nice. We have a lot of people in Texas. So I found something being an ex-Scientologist while I was looking for the tape. And I'm glad I found this. I've been looking for it for a while, and I'm so glad I found it. Of course, Jody. And this is a triggering book for me. This is it's a Scientology book. And it's called The Second Dynamic by L. Ron Hubbard. And the second dynamic in Scientology, the definition, hey, Just Joan, the definition of the second dynamic, there's different dynamics that we adhere to, like that are doctrine in Scientology. Actually, no, Tamber June, not in this case. And it does have to do with, it's the second dynamic is the entire, it's the marriage dynamic. So spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, and the rearing of children, of course, and sex. So that's what the second dynamic is about. It's all about family and the sex unit. And that's how they put it. So, of course, there's an entire book on it, but it just freaked me out because I've always told you guys that I had my first security check in Scientology when I was 6 years old. And the confessional, it's called a confessional. And I found it, Children's Confessional. And it says, Children's Confessional, ages 6 to 12. See that? The following is a processing check for use on children. Be sure the child can understand the question. Rephrase it so he or she can understand it. The first question is the most potent. Look at the first question. Has somebody told you not to tell? Have you ever decided you did not like some member of your family? Have you ever taken something belonging to somebody else and never given it back? Have you ever pretended to be sick, ill? Have you ever made yourself sick or ill or hurt yourself to make somebody sorry? Hey, Mama Bear. Mommy 1067, longtime lurker, welcome in. My sister was also an addict. She also had cancer, fought hard, beat both. Then she relapsed and unfortunately passed. Oh my God. Love your sister hard. So happy you reconnected, praying. Wow. Mommy, first of all, welcome. Thank you for coming out of lurker mode and thank you for sharing that with us. That is really a great story, but so sad that she passed. And I'm so sorry. And I'm sure you miss her every day. Thank you for, I hope you'll come out and chat with us again sometime. Thank you for sharing that. I'm sorry. Hey, Caroline in Canada. Jan, it's really sick. Jan, I was in Scientology for 38 years. So we talk about that a lot here and just the practices and shine light on how evil of a organization that is, a cult. Neptunes. So it's, hey, Fab Daddy. It's questions. It's doesn't have them numbered. I would guess this is probably 150 questions to ask a 6-year-old child is a lot. It's overwhelming. Hey, Lenora Gray, and some of them are sexual. And some of the, have you ever been a coward? Yeah, Neptunes, it's creepy. Have you ever tried to make your parents believe you were doing better in school than you were? Have you ever told on anyone? Have you ever teased younger children? Have you ever let someone else get punished for something you did? Have you ever cried until you got your own way? It's very, the reason I bring this up, this has got to be a God thing for me. Yeah, Mama Bear. And I have had other outside of this. This is not the only children's confessional. I've had many sexual children's where it really just was geared at sex. The reason I bring this up is guys, I sometimes I realize stuff and I'm like, I'm just realizing this in real time. And the only thing I can say to that is, I don't know if it's our minds. I don't know if it's God, but I know that all of you have experienced trauma in your lives. Like, it doesn't take a Scientologist to experience trauma. Everybody's experienced trauma, and trauma is not something we compare, right? Trauma is trauma and it's horrible and nobody's is worse than anybody else's. That's how I feel about that. So, have any of you ever realized something or realize that, I don't know if it's our brains, I don't know if it's God, but it's like this, it's like, Joan, it's a lot of just weird questions. That particular one, I mean, I don't know. I'd have to go through and read them all. I haven't done that, to be honest, in a long time. These questions, it sounded like, in particular, are kind of made to get you to doubt yourself. Let me ask you, though, what I was saying. It's like your mind protects itself, or you're not, like, you don't see something until you were meant to see it in time. I really believe that. Like, if we saw everything, or we were able to experience everything that happened to us and really process it, would break us. That's how I feel about that. Like, the mind can only take so many things, like one layer at a time. At least for me, processing coming out of Scientology, you guys have been with me for almost 3 years on this channel. And how many times, I mean, this happens almost every week where I'm like, I just realized that. Like, it's like so simple and so stupid, but it's like, I never thought of that until just now. I didn't realize that until just now. And it's usually something about Scientology, where it's like, most of you, I think, are, hey, Kendra, most of you, I feel like, are going on the other side of your screens going, you just realized that? And it's true. It's like, yes, I just realized that, because I don't know, but I kind of feel like that's how I would describe it. I can't see it all at once. It would kill me. So I think I think it's a God thing. For me, it's a God thing. It's like, I'm processing things layer by layer. And that's why cult experts say that it takes, for every year you were in Scientology, it takes 3 years to deprogram from. And if that's true, hey, Mindy, if that's true, I just hit my 3rd year coming out. That's terrifying. Hey, Rhonda, right? So if it takes 3 years for every year you were in, I just hit year 3 for the first time being out. Hey, Jan, I never thought of that either. That sucks. That's a bummer. So yeah, this is just, I think this is a confessional to, well, I'll read you some of you process what you can, park the rest. It is preservation for your brain. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. And Alana, you worded that perfectly. Yeah, baby, you're right. You're not meant to see it all at once. None of us could. Absolutely. Hey, Kestrel, you're struggling too. Everybody seems to be struggling. And Kestrel, I love you and I'm sorry. And I'm glad that you're here tonight. Everybody seems to be having kind of a rough time. I love all of you and I'm glad that we're here together. So this is this confessional. I'm going to read a few more of the questions and you can make up your own mind for what you think is kind of the what's the word I'm trying to look for? The undertone of this. My mind blocks so much out, it pops up and here and there. It's terrible when it does. Okay, so Kendra, you really get it. That's how I would say mine is too. Mindy, thank you for becoming a member. That is really kind, guys. Thank you for being members. So it starts with the first question. Has somebody told you not to tell? Now, I don't think that's an appropriate question right off the bat for a 6-year-old child, right? It's teaching what? Let's look at it. Before we make that decision, okay? Were my parents in Scientology? Yes, I was born into it. I rule. My father is still in Scientology. He's been in since like 1968. So yes. When my husband died, went out and took a big rig driving course, bought a 40-foot motorhome and sold all my belongings and hit the road. Just me and my boxer. Jan, that's amazing. I have a friend that's doing that currently. Good for you. It's not my thing. I'm a homebody being a Cancer sign, but I know a lot of people who travel the country with an RV and they love it. I just don't know that I could do it, but I'm happy for you, Jan. Fab Daddy, you finally figured out how to ignore my comments. Smart. That's a dicky passive aggressive thing to say. And I think you clearly were trying to be dicky and passive aggressive. I don't know what your comments were. Fab Daddy, try not to take it so personally. The chat moves really fast and try to be nice. Neptune's Lioness, thank you for gifting memberships. People love that and it's very kind. Thank you. If somebody tells you not to tell, that means they've done something horrific to you or something that is bad. Bingo. And make a child feel that they're responsible for your bad behavior is reprehensible. Yes, Mindy. Yes. So saying to a 6-year-old, has somebody told you not to tell? It's pretty fucking cringe. Hey, teacher mama life. Reese ignores plenty of comments. She can't acknowledge everything, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I don't ignore. The word is not ignore. I'm not ignoring because ignoring implies that I see it and I'm just choosing not to read your shit. It's going too fast. So I don't read, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm on a different comment. I'm on a different platform. I'm on StreamYard. You're on YouTube. So there's 9 comments at a time rolling past me. And that's all I can say about that. If I miss your comment, put it back up, but it's not intentional. You don't need to put up and say, oh, I see you're ignoring my comments. Smart. That's not the case. But if you just have a dark sense of humor and you're just being dicky, I get that too. Kendra says, I love your different subjects. Some very serious and others are fun times. When you would go to Home Depot. Oh, I remember that, Kendra. Yes. Thank you, Jane. We'll be sending up prayers for a swift recovery after surgery. Blessings. Jane, thank you so much. Mrs. Carson. Reese even says she goes back after the show and reads comments. She cares. I don't do it on every show. I just can't, but I definitely do on certain ones if it's going way too fast and I missed comments. And lately I've been trying to respond to comments after the stream. Please put on your patience pants. Reese does her best. Okay. I'm going to read a couple more of these, and then I want to get into the actual topic. This is important, and I want you to listen to this. So let's just read a handful of these questions for a 6-year-old for a child confessional in Scientology, which is performed on the cans, the e-meter, which is a device that was designed in Scientology. It's like a lie detector test. Yes, Jen, bingo. She says it's like they try to make children feel a sense of shame. Hey, April Goodson, love you, babe. It's good to see you. Absolutely. Jen hit that completely on the head. They are already, remember how I told you Scientology doesn't let people bond? They do not want kids bonding with their parents. They do not want husbands and wives bonding. Everything is done on confessionals starting at a very young age so that you are not ever keeping a secret to yourself or with another. Because what happens if you and your husband are so close, you guys tell each other everything, but you don't tell anybody else anything? It's like me and Tommy. You become best friends. You share everything, right? Lenore Gray, she has to have a mastectomy. Hey, Maisie Shiloh, you're fine. So Scientology intentionally destroys bonds, friendships, relationships, and they create their own language. There's its own nomenclature. They do all kinds of things. They plant all kinds of things in place to keep people, hey Holly, from getting close. And so what happens if you do get close? What happens? Secrets could be shared, right? You might start thinking. I also, hey Heather Huckleberry, the title of this stream is People Avoid Silence. What happens in silence? You might start thinking. You might start thinking about stuff in silence. I know I do. I go down deep rabbit holes when I start thinking. And it's the same thing when you form relationships and bonds. What happens? You're bonded to that person. You might start thinking. You might start questioning things. You might start talking. They don't want that. That's the last thing they want. They want to know everything you're thinking. Mindy, so when they ask a 6-year-old this, do they make that child feel like they're advocating for them, or are they making them feel guilty so they snitch? 100% so they snitch. Suffering or doing something stupid. Yes. Tiffany B says Scientology destroys relationships. That's why it's not growing. David Miscavige is an idiot. It seems like Aaron is acting just like him. I don't watch Aaron, to be honest, but I mean, you're welcome to your opinion. David Miscavige sucks, but I don't watch Aaron. Yeah, you might trust someone. Exactly. You might trust someone. So yes, it's entirely designed. Yes. It's entirely designed to snitch. So I'm going to read a handful of these, and I have something I actually want to talk about. Have you ever pretended to be sick or ill? Have you ever wanted something but never told anybody about it? Have you ever gotten dirty on purpose? Have you ever refused to eat just to worry someone? Let's read a few more of these and you might change your mind about what this is about. Have you ever refused to eat just to worry someone? Who asks that of a child, of an adult? What a weird thing to ask. Have you ever refused to obey an order from someone that you should obey? Have you ever told another child something that wasn't true just to frighten or upset him? Have you ever bullied a smaller child? Have you ever pestered older children, grown people who were trying to work? Have you ever been mean, cruel to an animal, bird, or fish? Do you have a secret? Oh, I love that, Jan. Do you have a secret? Have you ever noticed something wrong with your body that you were afraid to tell anybody about? Let me repeat that question. Yes, I did, BB. Have you ever noticed something wrong with your body that you were afraid to tell anybody about? Is there something about you your parents could not understand even if you told them? Have you ever failed to finish your schoolwork? Have you ever flunked an examination? Have you ever deliberately given a teacher trouble? Who have you made guilty? Who have you made guilty? I got asked these questions at 6. Have you ever done something you shouldn't have when you were supposed to be in bed or sleeping? This is prime. They're priming these kids for being Scientological adults. And when you're an adult in Scientology, I would literally have sex with my husband, go in, get on the cans on one of these, and they'd go, "What kind of sex did you have? What were you thinking about during sex? Were fingers used? Did you use any toys? What was said during sex?" There are no secrets. You cannot have your own thoughts. I wouldn't even call them secrets. You cannot have your own thoughts. These questions are soul crushing. I'm going to read a few more. Who have you made guilty? Like, that's insane. That's a horrible question to ask a 6-year-old. Let's see. Have you ever told others bad stories about someone? Have you ever felt that your parents and home were too good for you? Hey, Silver Psychic. Is there anything you should tell your parents and you never told them? Have you ever done something to your body that you shouldn't have? Have you ever done something to your body that you shouldn't have? Have you ever done anything to someone else's body that you shouldn't have? Is Scientology like the LDS? I don't know, Jan, because I don't know anything about LDS, but I don't think so. Hey, Holly Moore. Oh man, this is so upsetting. Have you ever told anyone that you did something when you shouldn't have done it? Have you ever made fun of another because of the way he looked? Have you ever decided not to talk to someone again? Have you ever decided that you were too bright or too smart for other kids? Have you ever annoyed an adult by something you said or did? Have you ever hurt a child? Have you ever made a child cry? Have you ever made a child sulk? Have you ever kept another child from having something that really belonged to him? Have you ever found anything and failed to return it to its owner? Have you ever felt ashamed of your parents? That's a weird question. Have you ever felt ashamed of your friends? Have you ever felt disappointed in your parents? Have you ever run away when you should have stayed? Have you ever felt sure your parents wouldn't understand something that happened in school, so you did not tell them? Have you ever not told teachers something about your family because they wouldn't understand it? Thank God you don't have to do that now. We would have scared the hell out of them, babe. Can you imagine? That's so true. This is a weird question. Have you ever been sloppy about your clothes or possessions? Have you ever cried when you shouldn't have? Have you ever been a coward? A 6-year-old. This is for a 6-year-old. Have you ever told on anyone? Have you ever teased younger children? Have you ever let someone else get punished for something you did? Have you ever cried till you got your own way? Have you ever picked on someone smaller than yourself? Have you ever made out that you were more badly damaged than you were in order to make someone stop picking on you? Have you ever done anything wrong according to your own religion? Who asks that of a 6-year-old? Can I remember any of the answers? No, I don't remember the answers to, I couldn't probably remember a lot of answers even to my questions when I was an adult. Because here's the thing about that, Kat, and that's a good question. This is a sec check. This is a specific, they call it a list. So the auditor will say in session, he'll go, we're going to run a prepared list. That's what they call it. We're going to run a prepared list. There's probably, if I had to guess, thousands of them. There's thousands of lists. And they're prepared questions, right? Have you ever done anything wrong according to your own religion? I already read that one. Have you ever pretended not to understand what you did wrong? Have you ever been in places where your parents didn't want you to go? Have you ever spied on anyone? I remember the answer to that one. That would be a yes. Yeah, that would be a yes. Have you ever made friends with people your parents didn't approve of? Have you ever thought someone was crazy? Have you ever let your team, school, or club down? Have you ever pretended not to hear your parents or teacher? So there's probably 100 more at least that I didn't read. So I want to go into something, and this is going to be a little bit sad, and I'm glad Tommy is here. I was talking to Tommy last night, I had that list run on me. I've had many, many, many lists run on me, prepared lists like that. And I know that we're all kind of laughing at that, but it's like Pat Jonas said, those questions for a child are soul crushing. Let me explain. I realize this when you answer yes to a question, is there a follow up or oh God, yes. Marissa Martin. So you have to get, so if you give a yes to the question or it reads on the meter, you have to answer the question and the needle on the dial on the meter has to do something specific with your answer, or you have to go what's called early or similar. So let's say the question was, have you ever been a coward? That was one I remember. And it reads, and the auditor goes, have you ever been a coward? And the kid goes, yeah, there was one time I didn't stick up for a friend on a playground. Okay. What happened? And they'll go into it and they'll talk about it. Whatever happened, they'll give details. When they're done giving the details, it depends on how they're going to run it. So they might say something like they're running a crime, getting a crime off. They might go, who missed it? What did they do to make you wonder whether or not they knew? They might go that way, but they also might just get the data, the information, and then wait for the needle to do something specific, which is called float, to get a floating needle. If it doesn't, they go earlier similar. That's your entire life in Scientology processing. So if it doesn't float, that means that there's something else. You're trying to blow what's called the entire chain. So have you ever been a coward? Yes. The needle doesn't float. Okay. So the auditor's looking at it, the dial, it doesn't float. Was there an earlier similar time that you've ever been a coward? Yes, decultified. It's typically done in one session, but it goes on for hours and hours. So I'm 6 years old. My needle doesn't float. So I give the whole story when I was a coward. It doesn't float. So the auditor's going to go, good. Was there an earlier similar time that you've ever been a coward? And I'm going to go, yeah, there was this one time that I didn't blah, 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 blah. Good. And I get it all off and I feel good about it. My needle still doesn't float. This could go on for hours, and it does. Was there an earlier similar time that you've ever been a coward? So that's just one question out of 150 questions on a list. This could take session after session after session. This does not, a list could take a very, very long time, and it has for me. So it's very depressing. It's very sad. And this is what I mean by, I just realized this yesterday, and it makes me very sad. How does a child understand this line of questions? They make them understand pretty quickly. And so that was my first experience getting sec checked. I've probably had, I've probably had hundreds of sec checks. And so you get seasoned on it, Shelly, pretty fast. You get very used to that. What age does that start, Mop Man? It starts at 6. Do you ever have a memory of past life doing early or similar? Oh, God, yes. I've done tons of early or similar past life experiences. Kendra, good question, especially like I've said 100 times. If you're going to do this shit, do it to a willing adult. Do not abuse a senior and do not abuse a child. Thank you, April Goodson. I think Tommy's in the chat. Hey, Lynn as well, especially kids. So looking now at a 41.5-year-old Reese, guys, it's like, it's all I know. So when a lot of you are like, oh my God, this is so heartbreaking. It's never really impinged upon me that I'm like, that is really sad, especially when it's my own experience. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I mean, I went through it. I'm okay. I don't think that's enough. Yes, Jan. In what book can you find the questions about sex with your partner? Iwa, you asked me those questions a lot. Unfortunately, sex with your partner, sex is a big topic in Scientology during auditing sessions. It's in many, 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 many books, many courses. It's in History of Man. It's in the Second Dynamic. It's in Dianetics big time. They talk about it in the ethics book. So it's in many, many, many books. Iwa, sex is a hot topic in Scientology for some reason, and it's spread all over the books. That's how I can answer that. Case face. Reese, I'm so sorry you had to deal with this, and so impressed with your growth and ability to deconstruct all of it and remain open, trusting, and kind. I'm so glad you and Michael protected Huxley. Thank you. That is really, really kind of you, and I appreciate that and the super chat so much. What is this for? Is this for before you can be a Scientologist? No. This is something that Scientology performs on all of its members, Jan, for the entirety of you being a member in Scientology, if that makes sense. So these are just called sec checks, security checks, and they're a common standard tool and practice that they use. Hey, Raymond. I could see where very quickly a child could be trained to try to throw anything and everything at the auditor in order to leave. I could see how that could condition someone to give. It doesn't work that way, Raymond, unfortunately, because auditors are trained for that shit. That's why we do all the bull baiting we do to be an auditor. Does my dad feel bad for allowing it? No, my dad is still a Scientologist. My dad wishes I was dead. By law, this should be considered child abuse. I'm sure it is. Absolutely, BB. So the point is, guys, what I want to say here is I had a conversation last night with Tommy. And this makes me very sad. And it's hard for me to, I haven't processed it fully yet. I realized it last night. As most of you know, just hearing that alone, I did not have a normal childhood. I did not have, as you know, my father used to scream at me and scream specifically in our house, no HE&R in this house. And most of you know what that means. HE&R stands for, in Scientology, no human emotion and reaction. HE&R is a big tool. It's a big word used in Scientology, but it was used on me as a child a lot. My father used to get in my face, and he would always do this clap thing. And I talked about this the other day, but he would get in my face. When I was 4 or 5 is when I remember it starting, but I would start to cry, or I would get rebellious, or I would get upset, or I would get an attitude, or whatever it would be, right? Knowing me. And he would go, he would clap really hard, and he would say, no HE&R in this house, God damn it. But he would scream it. I'm not going to scream it. I don't want to blow my voice out, and I'm not a screamer, but my dad would scream that. The main communication vibe from my father was screaming. Hey, Sandy Kovacs. So that's from early on, right? So that's a thing in Scientology. Like, you're not really allowed to get emotional in Scientology. They desensitize that right out of the gate. And I never really thought about any of this. I think about it. We talk about it. Don't get me wrong. I don't mean it like that. But what I'm specifically about to say, I had not really considered. And I did not really have your normal childhood. I didn't have I had some toys, like, I showed you the picture the other night where I was holding my doll. I had some toys, especially when my mom was around, but she left when I was 6. The toys pretty much stopped after that. I had some friends. I did go to a regular school. So I had some friends, like one friend I told you about, my friend Roy in 7th grade. I had a friend that I saw a picture of when I was going through stuff the other day. Her name was Jackie. I had a friend named Rachel, but those were in grade school friends. And I remember walking to school with them every once in a while. Rachel got a ride usually with her mom, but like there was a couple of people I remember names and I would walk with, but like my dad really isolated us from the rest of the world as Scientologists. When you're a Scientologist, the rest of the world is not safe. Everybody's a criminal that's not a Scientologist. So I'm talking to Tommy last night, and I was just flirting with him like normal, like a programmed robot for sure, Joan Marie. And I don't know if you can find it, mods, but like there's a stream I did, I don't know, like a month ago now, called My Scientology Story or something. Like that was a 3-hour stream I did, and it laid out everything, pretty much my story of Scientology, and I gave definitions for things and how things worked and just like the ins and outs in order. That's a good one to watch if you want to really know that. That was I think that was my best stream I'd done, where I told most of the entire story and I kind of told it in order. So she should have ended up a serial killer, Shelly, to be honest. It's amazing that she's as sweet as she is. Thank you, guys. So I'm talking to Tommy last night, and I want to get into this because I think it helps. I'm a verbal processor, and this is going to make me sad, but I think it helps to talk about this stuff, and I think that it could help another to talk about this stuff. I don't realize how much other people's childhoods were compared to mine. Like, I wouldn't like he meant sweet Raymond. I wouldn't know, like, when I hear about your childhood and how, like, beaver cleaver it was. Thanks, Lisa. I always crave that. I've seen it in movies. I wish for that. I wish I'd had a dad that was, into me. I wish that I had gone to a prom or finished high school, all those things, but I didn't. And so it's like I just shut it down and I move on. I block it out. I don't care. I didn't experience it, so I don't have a memory of it. But when I thought about last night and just how much that's true, Marissa Martin, just how much, hey, Salvi girl, my childhood was just not the same as a non-Scientology childhood. I was talking to Tommy last night. I was just flirting with him. I was just really flirting. And I said to him, I said, it's too bad that I'm old because I'm going to be 42 and Tommy's out of vasectomy. And so, and until last night, this had never occurred to me, really. Like, I'd never really thought about it. I've joked about it. But I never wanted more kids than my son. I have my son, and that's it, because he was raised with me in Scientology, as you guys know, and his whole family on that side was Scientology, and his dad was a Scientologist, and we shielded him from it as much as we could, but he was still raised in the church for sure. And I did not get to experience, this is tough for me. I did not really get to experience motherhood that much with him because he was taken from me at such a young age. No, Jan, I'm in Tennessee. He was taken from me at a very young age. Huxley was pretty much at the time he was born, he was taken by his grandfather Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. Until he started school, he would take him throughout the week. He really took the reins. He took control. And he paid for it like it was a transaction. He paid for a lot of our bills. He gave me money. His father and I, which his father was his son, right? That I was married to, Huxley's dad. And it became very transactional. And very quickly, we were under control. And I did not get a lot of choices mothering him. I did not really get to bond with him. When we brought him home from the hospital when he was born, the grandfather stayed at our house every night. Like, I didn't even get to be in the nursery with him. He really, really took over. Love you, Diana H. And it never stopped until Huxley was 13. And I was kicked out of Scientology and we were forced to disconnect. But I did not think about the fact that this is one of the reasons that I say I'm not a very good mom, because I don't feel in my heart that I've been a good mom. I don't feel that I have earned being a mother, because I was not, I did not take that control back like I should have. And I don't know even if I could go back and do it if I could, because he was so overbearing, that man. Huxley's grandfather was incredibly controlling and mean, and especially mean to women. And he took over our lives pretty quickly. And before we knew it, he was paying for everything. His wife, my husband's mother, Huxley's grandmother, would say to me, like, don't upset him. Let's not upset him. Like, he was very, very, very overbearing, and he was very abusive like that. He used his power to, and I believe that he knew my weakness, which was yelling. Especially a man, women not as much, but a man yelling at me will trigger me to another universe. I freak out, I freeze up, I shake, I can't handle it. I go into a trance, like I cannot be around it. And so he would use his size and his power and his voice to overcome us, be overbearing. And it was a whole thing, and he took control. And I lost control immediately. And looking back, I realized this recently. I was basically a vessel for my son to be born. So he took him the minute he was born. He took over. He took control of my son. He said that my son was his father who had passed away in like the 80s or 90s. I never met him, but he said that his dad was waiting for someone in the family to be born so he could be born back into our family. And so Doug, his grandfather, believed Huxley was Doug's father. And so he just took over. He took over my son's life. That was all very intentional and absolutely not your fault, Reese. You protected Huxley like you deserve to be protected. Huxley is an awesome, well-rounded kid, and he knows he's loved. You did that. Case face, I appreciate that. It's hard for me to accept what you just said. Hey, Heather Rhodes. And I'm trying, and I appreciate you saying that. I appreciate everybody who lifts me up and supports me in this way. So thank you for the super chat. Thank you for saying that. So that was our life. He controlled, he was the patriarch, and he silenced us like if he wanted us to be silenced. He was very scary. Thank you, Case Face. And it was frightening for me because my husband at the time, their son, was also extremely abused in Scientology. And this is, hey, Cindy G, what I realized last night. And I didn't realize this last night. My husband at the time was 5 years younger than me, Huxley's dad. I know, Debbie, and I appreciate that. I was basically the mother to my husband and Huxley. My husband at the time, Huxley's dad, was extremely, and to this day, I mean, he can't have much of a conversation with anyone. He breaks down. He has serious instabilities, anxiety. Scientology really broke him. So he was not my husband. He was like my kid. I protected him all the time. He was very, extremely fragile. And so I very much felt like I was protecting and mothering Huxley and my husband at the time. And that's the truth. And so it's just how it went. That was just life. And so I never considered this until last night. I did not enjoy motherhood, especially then because Huxley was taken from me. I didn't even have a Christmas. Well, I saw him Christmas morning, but Doug would come get him. I had my very first Thanksgiving with my son 2 years ago. They took him. I'd never had a Thanksgiving with Huxley. They took him to another state. They took him on Christmas morning. They would come get him. Birthdays, they would come get him. Like, I really was kind of a vessel for Huxley to be born, and then they took over. He took over. And I did not have much of a say in it because I was the only one that would try to buck up and fight him. His wife, Brenda, and his son, Michael, my husband, were terrified of Doug. And I fell into line pretty quickly once I learned my place. But I am not the kind of girl. They took him just to their house, Neptune's, but also to Iowa, where Doug's mother was. I am not the kind of girl to lay down and take it unless it's too much power. And this was too much power. I realized really quickly, and I was also warned, you will not win. You will not be able to fight this. So you might as well just relax and enjoy that he pays your bills and let him take your child. And that was hard for me, but I gave it up pretty quickly too. I was very afraid of him. He intimidated me. And I laid down and took it eventually. And I would try to say things like, I was pretty fearful of him. And every once in a while I would butt heads with him for sure, but not very often did I have that kind of energy. I am not a fighter. I'm not a yeller. It's hard for me to do that. And I can't do it for too long. I mean, I can do it for a few minutes and then I just feel weak and powerless. And I felt very weak and powerless with this man in my life. So I guess what I'm saying is I have to blow my nose, guys. Hold on a second. Absolutely, Stacey Toms. I've had this talk with Huxley. Thank you, BB. What I'm saying is, I was so excited to have a child. I planned to have Huxley. He was not an accident. I wanted a child. I wanted more than one child. And I thought I married this man and I thought it was going to be this great thing. And I was like, I bought a house and I was like, I want to have a child. And I was 24 and I knew, I mean, I know when I'm ovulating. I planned it all out and I said, let's have a baby. I'm ovulating. And we did. And I got pregnant and we were married. And I was so excited and I had a great pregnancy and I loved being pregnant. And it was a Scientology pregnancy, which means I was getting around the clock auditing on the cans. You're not allowed to have sex when you're pregnant in Scientology. You're not allowed to have an orgasm. They check for that. They make sure you're not doing any of that. It was very controlled, my pregnancy. They didn't want me to even see a doctor. They wanted me to have a home birth, which I didn't do. But yes, Raymond, I married Huxley's father thinking it was going to be like hey, Starlena, I married his father thinking it was going to be a fairy tale type of deal. And his parents were Scientologists, but they were not like mine. They were very, oh, we've never had a daughter. Oh, we have a daughter. Like they were very sweet on me. They loved me. And I had not had that growing up. I didn't have parents that felt that way. So it all meshed together beautifully at the time. And I got pregnant and I told them I was pregnant. And Doug was like, oh my God, it's my dad. He's coming back. He's been waiting for a pregnancy in this family. My father's coming back. And he kind of took control right then over my child in the womb. Like, you're having this baby for me. And it was weird and it was uncomfortable, but I still really enjoyed pregnancy. Like, everybody warned me. They were like, oh, get ready for this. Oh, you're going to be in pain. Oh, you're going to be a bitch. Oh, it's going to hurt. Oh, you're going to pee yourself all the time. None of that happened. I had a great pregnancy. I loved being pregnant. I absolutely loved it. I talked to him all the time. I sang to him. He would just dance. I could feel him all the time and I loved it. I really, really enjoyed that. And as soon as I had him, most of you know, he was taken from me. He was he had to go into the NICU for 2 weeks. I had gestational diabetes. It was not controlled, and he was in a NICU. And it was swine flu, I think. He was born in November, and that was the big thing that year in 2009. And I had not seen him yet. And Doug was going in and out of the NICU, which was not allowed. Only parents were allowed. But he lied to the people in the NICU and told the nurses there that he was our family minister. So he was already like sneaking and snaking his way in to get to my child. So he met him before I ever met my child. I did not meet Huxley for the first 4 days of his life, and it broke me. I was very excited to have him, to meet him. And when he was taken from me and I didn't see him for 4 days, that really caused a deep depression. I did not bond with him. And I just remember laying in that bed thinking he doesn't need me. I thought he needed me, but he obviously doesn't need me. And so when it was time to finally go see him, my husband at the time was like, let's go. You can see him. Like, I had problems with the spinal block. I had to have like a neurologist come in. I wasn't walking. Like, it just didn't go right. And by the fourth day, he came and said, let's go see him. And I was like, I don't want to. Like, he obviously doesn't need me and I don't want to see him. He doesn't need his mom. And Doug had come into my hospital room every day of those 4 days, like showing me pictures and bragging and like, my boy has been born. Like it was his grandchild, but it was like he took ownership over my child. And that was really hard for me. And I felt very small and unnecessary. I felt like the vessel. Like my job is done. I had the baby. It's like a surrogate situation. And so when I did finally get to go see him, Doug like had him. Doug was doing Scientology assists on him. He was walking around with Huxley and he was like having him touch things. And he was like, this is a shelf. He was like, this is your left hand. This is your right hand. I'm your grandpa, Doug. He was like, I'll be taking care of you. They talked to them like they're real people. Scientologists don't believe in children. There's no such thing. So, like, they would say, this isn't a baby. He understands everything you're saying. He just has to get acclimated to the body again. He knows how to talk. He just has to move his mouth properly. Like, they don't believe in this is a baby. It's not a baby. It's a grown human. It's just small body, big being. So that was hard for me. And at that point, he had already taken over. And he was lying, saying he was our family minister to get in and take over my kid. And he was until I got him kicked out. I basically told the neonatal doctor came in one day for her rounds, and I liked her a lot. Thank you, Bitsy. And I told her I didn't want him here. She said, she goes, is he the father? And I said, no, he's the grandfather. And he's telling everyone he's our minister. And she was like, not anymore. He's not. She was a hard ass. And she was like, you need to get out. She was like, you are not welcome here. You need to get out. You are not a parent. You can't be here. And she just kicked his ass out. So I got to spend the next week and a half with him. And I went up there every day and I just held him. And hey, Punisher, when we got home, Doug came and stayed at my house. So the first night in my home with my new baby, he stayed all night and rocked him in his room that I had set up and picked the colors for and decorated. And I had this really cool furniture that matched. And I had a glider that I had bought to hold him in and rock him in. And Doug took over that room. And it never went away. It didn't stop for 13 years. He took over. And until last night, that's why I'm telling you this story, because I'm catching you up to a conversation I had last night with Tommy. And I've never been proud of being a mother for those reasons. It's a dark shame for me. And I know all of you say, stop tearing yourself down and you're a good mom. I understand and I appreciate you saying that. And I love my son very much and I protect him and I want everything in the world for him. But I can't change the fact that I did not fight that enough. I lost that battle and that man took him. And Huxley and I did not get a chance to really bond. I mean, Doug would take him to Scientology parties, like events, we called them, like fundraising events. And people would come up to me till he was 5 as an infant up to about the age of 5 or 6 when he was cute, when they're like little and cute. People came up to me all the time and they would go, Reese, your baby or your son or your little boy is so cute, but Doug wouldn't let me see him. Doug wouldn't let me hold him. Doug wouldn't let me talk to him. Doug shielded. Huxley lives with me, Jan. I have Huxley now all the time. But they would say that to me. It was a common thing. My mom would say that. Doug won't let me pick him up. Doug won't. I mean, I wasn't allowed to either. I couldn't even put him in my car and drive him. Doug took him everywhere. He took over this child. And Doug's wife would say, I would fight her. I would go to her and I would complain. It was like an HR department structured situation. Like Doug was the CEO. You couldn't get to him, but I would go to her and I would bitch at her and I would go, I can't even see my son. I can't even do this. I can't even do that. And she'd go, well, Doug is the patriarch of this family and he's paying your bills. So we're not going to rock that boat. Okay. He's paying all the bills. He's the financial person of this family. Like it was very, I got that kind of pushback. Pebbles, Doug was my father-in-law, Huxley's grandfather. And so I got that kind of pushback and that went on forever. And so I'm talking to Tommy last night. Thank you, Punisher. And I said, I'm just flirting with him, right? I was just flirting and looking at him. We FaceTime every night. And I said, I said, I miss you. And I said, it would have been cute. And I was just being silly because whenever someone says throughout my life, like, are you guys going to have more kids? When I was married to his dad, Lisa, I was outed by accident. I wouldn't have left. I don't think I would have left Scientology. I don't know at this point, but I got outed, meaning someone accidentally told the higher ups that I was being an under the radar person, giving information. So whenever someone has said to me, are you going to have more kids or you should have more kids or Huxley's so cute, you guys should have more kids. Like they would say that to me and Huxley's dad. And I was like, oh no, like I decided at that point, I didn't want more kids because I didn't want to be a surrogate. I didn't want to do that. That wasn't the experience. When I was so excited throughout that whole pregnancy to have him and then to have him taken from me and realize my place was not being his mom. That was hard. And I gave up on it. And I thought, this isn't for me. I don't want to have, I wanted the whole fairy tale of being a mom. I did not want this man to take over and it be a transaction. And that's what it became. And it wasn't what I thought. I could not talk to my husband about it because he was so beaten down and manipulated by his dad. He was terrified of his dad, Silver Psychic. Like I would fight with my husband at the time. That was our biggest fights. Those were what we would fight about. He was great. I loved Huxley's dad. He was fantastic, but he was a child for me. I had to care for him and protect him. So I would go to him and go, why aren't you helping me? Help me fight your dad to get this changed. And he'd be like, mm-mm. Like he was spineless and I couldn't understand it. So I was alone in that battle. And then Huxley's grandmother, Doug's wife, was the same. I was like, can you help me with this? This is my kid. That's not your kid. Like I had a lot of fight in me. Hey, Natalie, Travis, I had a lot of fight in me in the beginning. In the first 2 to 3 years, I fought it and then I just gave up. And I was like, okay, I'll see him when I see him. And I got to see him like Monday through Thursdays. And I got him off to school and Doug would pick him up after school and come get him like Mondays and Wednesdays and take him to eat and bring him home for bedtime. So like I got to see Huxley like Monday mornings when he would get ready for school. I would take him to, I was a vessel. Like I didn't even really have much to do with parenting him. Doug kept him Friday, Saturday, Sundays. He'd bring him home Sunday night at like 9:00 for bed. I didn't even get to, I hardly got to cook or do any of that shit for him. The most time I got to spend with Huxley was before he started school. So during the day, they're Scientologists, BB. During the day, I really remember him as a toddler, like laughing. I have videos, like we had so much fun. I would make his food. Michael, his dad, worked at Whole Foods at the time, which was amazing. And we got a great discount. So like I would buy and like make his food in the blender. And I remember all those moments, but they were, once he started school, that was done. I didn't get to spend as much time with him. And so let me just fast forward to last night. And I never thought about this. When people say like, would you ever have more kids? I was like, no, that door is closed because it wasn't what I thought it would be. Right. I didn't get what I had made up in my head about like just decorating his room, the pregnancy. I went and bought all the clothes. I was so excited. All those things, I had all these goals and like dreams and hopes as a mom and as what kind of mom I'm going to be. And I read books and I really was into it. And that was taken. And so I just gave up on that idea. And last night I was talking to Tommy and I was flirting with him. And I said, you know what? I said, we would have had a cute kid. I said, I kind of wish we would have had a child. And I said, but I don't because I'm almost 42 and I'm not having a kid. And I had Tommy get a vasectomy so that wouldn't happen because I wanted to make sure I never got pregnant. And I was being silly about it at first, like I always have been in my life. Like the thought of another child makes me sick because I was like, no, I'm not doing this again. Right. I don't want to repeat the same damn thing. This has been hard enough. It gutted me. So I was like, no, the thought of having another kid was not exciting for me. And I started to talk to him more about it. And I was like, he goes, we would have had a really cute kid. And I said, I kind of wish we would have. I said, I always wanted a girl. Like I'm so girly and I love girl stuff. And I started to kind of process it. And I realized I wasn't joking anymore. And I said, that would have been fun. He goes, hey, Nicola. He goes, babe, stop. He was like, you're going to make me get that vasectomy reversed. And I went, yeah, right. And he went, no, I'm serious. I could get it reversed. And I said, oh God, no. I was like, oh, fuck no. No way. I was like, no, 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 no. And I said, plus that doesn't work anyway. And he was like, yeah, it does. And I can get it reversed. And I said, no, 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 no. I'm 41, dude. I was kidding. I was like, no. And he goes, well, Huxley will have kids one day and that'll be really fun. And I started to talk about it and kind of process it. And I was like, I just realized something because he goes, I said, I bet you're a really good dad. Tommy loves kids and he is so cute around kids. Like the stories alone that he told me about when his kids were little were so cute, like how in love with his kids he was. Um, and he started talking about that when they were little and just the funny, silly things they did and how he would like carry him around. He was so proud of them. And I was like, I have no memories of that. And he was like, I would have loved to, be your husband if you were pregnant. I started to really think about it. And I was like, I had a Scientology pregnancy. Like, I did not even get to, like, my husband at the time was so broken that I was his mother throughout that whole marriage. Like, we didn't have sex. We weren't attracted to each other that way. Like, I took care of him. He was so broken from Scientology that, like, he had so much anxiety. He couldn't do anything. He was so afraid of his dad. And Tommy started to like paint this beautiful picture for me. And he was like, oh, he was like, I would have loved you. He was like, you're so sexy to me. You would have been so sexy to me pregnant. And he was like, oh, he was like, I would love to have had a baby with you and just like us have a baby. And I thought, oh my God, I have no memories. Like this would have been amazing. And I thought, I did not. I try not to think about the things I didn't get because it makes me feel like, babe, stop. I could probably get an appointment by next Friday. Never gonna happen, sir, but thank you. Huxley will have a child hopefully one day. Hey, Sarah. And I just realized that like I don't like to feel like a victim. I don't like the word victim. It's not used in Scientology, and victims are very frowned upon. Like, you're not a victim, you pulled it in, you're responsible for everything. So, like, I cringe when I think of the things I didn't get. Like, I don't complain about that kind of thing because it makes me feel victimy, and I don't like that. It's been hardcore trained into me. So, I started to go down that path of like, victim or not, that was taken from me. Motherhood was taken from me. My childhood was also taken from me, but like motherhood was very robbed from me. I did not get to bond with my kid until about 2 years ago. He's 16. I didn't even get to know him. I got to have my first Thanksgiving with him because Doug was out of our life. Finally. And he didn't have control anymore. And so I realized, though, I thought I never got to experience any of those things. I never got to experience like having a husband that was like into me sexually or taking care of a baby with me. Michael didn't do any of that. Or us being in love and the child seeing that, right? Like the child looking up to us and seeing their parents loving each other. None of that occurred. Or just normal memories of like us going as a family and doing things. Hey, Louisa, none of that happened. Doug took my child. Doug broke his family to where they were all in line and afraid of him. And I had to get in that line as well. And I had to force myself to do it because I'm not a natural get in line kind of girl. And Joanne Hawley, wow. First of all, thank you for the giant super chat. Babe, I know how much guilt you feel over this because you never got to bond with him. You missed out on so many pivotal moments and holidays. I think more than guilt, what you're really feeling is hurt and anger, as you should because you were robbed. I did not realize that fully until this conversation took place with Tommy last night. And just like what a man that's not a Scientologist, how they think, right? I was so involved in Scientology at the time. Everybody around me was a Scientologist that I did not realize what pregnancy would be like or raising a child would be like with a non-Scientology husband. And Joanne, I love you. And thank you for the giant super chat. And thank you for saying that. That's incredibly validating. And I think you're right. I know you're right. And I love you, my friend. Thank you for that huge super chat. That helps Huxley and I very, very much. So thank you. Yeah, Jody, I just never, because again, it's like my childhood. It doesn't occur to me what I didn't get because I didn't get it. I wasn't there for that. I didn't get to experience it. So all I know is what I had. Does that make sense? My experiences is what I know. And so it's the same thing with Huxley. As a mother, raising him the best I could, which I didn't really get a chance to do, I don't compare it to other people. But last night, for some reason, it clicked in this conversation. I was like, I never thought about what life would be like. I mean, I dream about like, what if I would have gone to high school and had like a real high school experience? What a prom but would be like, right? Like a boyfriend in high school, friends, right? Reese, have a baby with Tommy. Sure, Natalie, no problem. I don't. I mean, of course, women can have babies at this age. My sister is going to be 46 next month, and she has a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. I understand, but it's not. That's a seriously intense decision, and I believe that if you're going to bring a child into this world, that you should be financially totally able to do that. But also, I think that more important than any finances, you should be completely stable enough mentally to do that. And I'm not saying I'm not. I know he is. But I think there's so much more into going to deciding to be a parent and making sure that that kid isn't gonna experience trauma like we did, right? Yeah, people have kids in their 40s. I understand, but are my siblings still in Scientology? No. No, my sister got out when she was 14. My mom got out in 1991. I got out 3 years ago. So, wow, Mop Man. So I just didn't ever consider being a mom again because I thought I'm awful at it. I don't even know if I know how to do it. Like, I don't even know. Thank you, Punisher. Thank you. And I think if I had a shot to do it over, like I wanted a baby so bad. And I just didn't get to do it the way that I had it planned out in my head. And I think that if I could do it over, I would be really good at it. And I think that I wouldn't feel so controlled because I wouldn't have some guy controlling me and telling me what to do. I did not get to do anything I wanted to do with him because even weekends, I never got a weekend with Huxley till he was 13. And I would say to Doug, "Hey, Anne," I would say to Doug, "I would like to take him this weekend. I would like to take him this weekend for something." And Doug would go, "Oh, no, I'm sorry. We have plans." And so I would like ask for permission to have my son, and I always got denied permission. And so I just think I missed that. And I wish that I could do it again. I wish I was younger, and I wish that, Tommy didn't live in another country. And I wish I could do it again because I love the idea of just having what I had wished for. And I always wished that Huxley had had a sibling because he's such an amazing kid. And I wanted him. I thought always he would be such a good big brother. And I've never confronted and dealt with any of this stuff till tonight. Last night I did it for a little while on the phone, but I never went down this rabbit hole of like, what if? I never confronted the idea that like that was taken from me. I don't like to say those words because I feel like a victim and I don't want to feel like a victim, but that was taken from me in a big way. But Doug was a thief. You were a victim. My dear friend, please do not gaslight. I love you, Anne. Thank you, Anne. So I just did not like once Tommy started like painting that picture for me of like, oh man, I wish I would have been your husband at the time. I would have been all over you. We would have had the best time. I would have shown that baby like how much I would love that child's mother, and that child would grow up seeing their parents so in love. And I was like, oh my God. Like it didn't even occur to me. I was like, that is usually what happens, isn't it? Like, I wish I could have seen that. I wish I could have experienced that, even with my own parents. But like, I wish I could have given that to Huxley. And I feel terrible that it was taken from both of us. His childhood was taken from him, and his ability to bond with his mother was broken. And that's why I tell you guys, Scientology does not allow people to bond. And so even now, I mean, I am super close to him more than I ever have been. Guys, it has been a task. Oh, honey, for no other reason would I move back, but for that I would in a heartbeat. That's really sweet, babe. But I did not experience motherhood, and it makes all the sense to me in the world why I've been so touchy about it. And thank you, Rhonda. And why I've rejected, and that's why I say I'm not a very good mom. I don't believe I'm a very good mom. I did not fight hard enough to get my child back. And now I got him back, and it's taken years to, I mean, that's why I've never been, I don't, I'm such an awkward mom because I feel like his older sister. Like, I'm serious. I feel like his aunt or something. Like, I've never hugged Huxley much. We don't hug much. I was never touched as a child. I was never hugged. So, like, we don't hardly hug. We're not super bonded. We never were super bonded. So it's like, I'm here for him. And I say that. Do you believe we believe you're a good mom? Yes, Mad Drop, for sure I do. And I appreciate it. But I'm here for him. And I've always said that. I'm kind of behind him. I will guide him if he needs to be guided. I am always grateful to God. You guys met Huxley the other day. He came on. He's been on for years, but he came on and he chatted with us. And he's so mature. He's since he was 5, I've always said this. Huxley gets up at 5 in the morning. He's always gotten himself ready for school. He's just very adult-like. He's an old soul. He never was a child much, and that's probably because of Scientology. You didn't have the ability to fight for him then. Thank you, Shelley Kelly, and I didn't. Thank you for your super chat, and I love you. Natalie says, Reese, oh, I love your picture. You are a terrific person. I'm so touched to have met you and Tommy. Beautiful people. Thank you, Natalie. Yeah, I'm bonded in a different way now, Pat Jonas. Oh my God, you're cute. I got the better deal. Reese is so amazing. I keep waiting for Ashton Kutcher to jump out and yell, you've been punked. That's really sweet, babe. But I feel awkward as a mom. I feel very awkward as a mom. Like, it's not natural for me. I feel like his older sister or something because I'm like, I don't not trust him. I don't doubt him. And if he's like, I want to do this, I'm like, sure, let's make that happen. Like, I don't, I just have always, he's always gotten my stamp of approval. He's never given me a reason to doubt him or to think he's a liar. I definitely don't feel like I deserve Huxley. He is a well-rounded, grounded, he's like kind of my rock, him and Tommy. And I mean, even when I remember this and I shared this with you guys. Thank you, Mad Drop Bear. When I was first going to come on YouTube and share my Scientology story because I got outed. Okay. I wasn't going to leave Scientology. I was flying what's called under the radar. And I reached out to the Aftermath Foundation. I told you guys this. And I asked them to help me. That's so true, Anita Card. I asked them to help me to figure out a way to get away from Scientology, but to keep my family. So to keep things neutral, I wasn't trying to leave, but I wanted to separate myself. And if there was a way to do it. And so I reached out for help. And it was the vice president that called me back. And I spent about 6 months talking to him and what's called flying under the radar. I was giving him, he said, he had a huge YouTube channel. And he said, I want you to give me all this information and then I can give it to my channel. Of course, keep you anonymous. And then it helps everybody. It's win-win. It helps people to get out. And I said, yes. And babe, you're so cute. No, if we had a daughter, I would want to name her, I think, my grandmother's name, Lucia. I think Lucia is such a cute name. And so I did. And I flew under the radar and I gave that person all the information they wanted. And on New Year's Eve of 2022, he accidentally outed me, right? So he flashed my name up on the screen live during a YouTube show like now. And Scientology found out about it immediately and I lost my family. That's what happened. I'm always grateful for him. I don't speak to him anymore. He's not a friend at all. But I'm very grateful for that. And no matter what has happened, I always try to let the stuff I'm grateful for rise to the surface. No matter what the bad blood was, I want to pick out the things that benefited me and I'm grateful for. And so that's what I choose to look at when it comes to that story. What if I had another son? Well, I always said Marissa Martin, and this is weird, but if I had a boy, I always wanted to name him Wolf. I like Huxley and Wolf. I think that's a cool name. Natalie, it's not. Let's talk baby names. Guys, it's not going to happen. Tommy just got a vasectomy for me because I've been begging him to do it for years. Guys, I'm sorry, but that can't happen. He would be calling your daughter Alice, probably. That would be absolutely crazy. I can't even imagine being pregnant at 42. That would suck. Honestly, that would suck. I'd have to ask my sister about it. You did the best you could because you were brainwashed, but we can tell he loves you and you love him. That's what's being a good mom. I appreciate that and so true, but I don't feel like I was a good mother. I hope you can understand that. I just don't feel as though I did a very good job because I did not take him back. I did not take what was taken from me. Huxley was taken from me. And so I got him in the little bits that I could. But Doug won that battle. And so having that conversation last night shook so many things loose for me. And I thought, oh my God, they don't always work on the reversible thing. So we could treat it like if it was meant to happen, it would, kind of a thing. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Natalie, we could adopt. I would love to adopt a child. I would absolutely adopt a child. Hey, Hockey Smash. Oh my God, your sister had twins at 45. That sounds awful. Guys, you have to have a lot of money to have kids too. I really believe that. Like, I would not want to be poor as shit and have a child. That would suck. I don't want to barely get by with a baby. That would suck. Yeah, Shelly, your feelings are very valid. You're being raw and honest. Thank you, Shelly. The ex-bank robber, they're not going to allow me to adopt a kid. That's true too. The ex-Scientologist and the ex-bank robber. Hi, we're here to adopt a child. I came from Scientology and he's an ex-felon. We're going to do great. I'm adopted, Reese. Did you know that? No, I didn't know that, Martin. That's so cool. So, just talking to Tommy last night really kind of gave me some, he healed me in a lot of ways talking about that, because even though it didn't happen, thinking about the fantasy of it, like, oh man, old Charlie's adopted. That's so cool. The fantasy of like being loved like that, being pregnant, and like your husband being super in love with you and like attracted to you. And oh, BB's adopted too. And true, Tommy, one of his son is adopted. And his sister is adopted. That's so true. I forgot about her. I almost named her, but no, yeah, that's true. Tommy's sister is adopted as well. I just thought, oh my God, just the fantasy is enough for me to feel healed from that. Like just the idea of a pregnancy in a normal family. Hey, DNV, and having like a guy that's like, I'm not having to take care of because he's so broken. I mean, I don't blame Michael for that. It is not his fault. The reason he turned out the way he turned out. Scientology did that to him and his parents did that to him. They were horrible parents. But it was really, really a burden on me to try to have Huxley and balance seeing Huxley when I could, because he was taken from me, and having a husband at the time that was very, very, very weak because he couldn't fight it with me. So we were not in love. It wasn't like that. And I just think if we could do that again, if I could do that again and have a child and show the child what it's like to have really, really loving parents, that would be so amazing. And I'm sad that I missed that. Wow, Punisher, that is such a nice thing to say. I've been married for 31 years and extremely happy, but girl, you don't give yourself enough credit. You are a beautiful woman. That is such a nice thing to say. Boy, I feel ugly tonight too. So thank you, Punisher. Thank you so much. And congratulations being married that long. That's another thing. Doug may have won that battle, but you won the war. Thank you, Wine. That's another thing is I wish that I could have been married for like decades to someone, Punisher. I think that's really cool. It's something I would love to have experienced. To be married like 40 years would be amazing. And it would have been cool to experience motherhood in the way that I was meant to experience it, and not, guys, it was horrible. Motherhood was really, really, really awkward for me. No pressure. In fact, I'll let myself out. Want to know if you ever change your mind next Friday? I would be happy to come back to America for that. That's amazing, babe. I love you. Thank you for being here, and I love you. Tommy's going live in about 20 minutes. So I will see those of you that go over to the boat. I'll see you there. I also feel awkward as a mom all the time. You can only just try to do your best in the moment and love them. And I can do that. And I do that. But it's just such a different experience from Scientology. Shelly, thank you for being here, and I love you. I have to weigh in on this. I would love to see you two have a kid. Hell, I'd like to reincarnate as the kid. Sierra Terry, she's a friend of mine. I love you, babe. Thank you. Tommy, I hope one day I will meet a man that's like you, such a loving, caring man. Natalie Travis, that's a sweet thing to say. Love you, Lisa Renfro. Tommy is a great guy. He's a great, great person for sure. I love you, my friend, and your husband is awesome. I love you too. I love you. Lil Redneck, thank you. You could still have a 40-year marriage. I guess I could. Jan says it's so true, Reese. Guys, I love Jan, by the way. She's new. You are so beautiful. The most beautiful skin. Wow. Such pretty eyes. You are awesome. I'm here for you with as long as you are. I love this. Love you. Love you, Reese. Dang, guys. Jan, this is her first time here tonight. Jan, I love getting new people. What's going on? Why are you staring at me? I love having new people who actually love being here and want to stay. So thank you, Jan. And you already have a lot of friends here. You look sexy in a hat. Thank you, Punisher. I don't know that I feel that way tonight. Anita Card, I love you. And I'm sorry again that I missed your birthday. Please know that I care about you and love you very much. It just wasn't a good day yesterday. Wow. Gorgeous. Guys, I don't mind being a mom to animals now. Like I love my animals. They've all been dumped around here, all these damn cats. I love my animals, and I love being a mom to them. I'm still a mom. I still get to experience it. A baby Trisket. Oh my God. I just wish that hadn't have been taken from me. I wish I could get it back. Kim is blue. Punky is very disheveled. Punky's really tiny. I love you. Oh, please read my comment above. Okay, let me find it. There it is. I believe you are making up for lost time and doing a great job. Please don't beat yourself up. I send you many, many squeezy hugs. I love you, Stacey Toms. I got to hug her in California a few weeks ago. Thank you, babe. Upped my boat membership. Well, that's nice of you, Mop Man. Jan, curious, what brought you here? Did you see a clip or anything? Good point. Good question. Thank you, Natalie Travis. Mindy says, I literally have no friends and lost all family connection because I've been told I'm a toxic and a piece of crap. Oh my God. When I don't have any friends and I go back to work and come home every single day. Mindy, you have friends here. You have friends here, babe. Please know that. This is a place for that. That's what we do here. It's like sitting around with friends. Leslie, I love you and I'm glad you're still here. Oh, Jan came from the boat. Okay, well, welcome over everybody from the boat. I appreciate everybody who came over from the boat. That's so kind. Mindy, that's what this community is for. You know, somebody asked me today, what's your channel about? And I was like, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. It's about community and connection. That's what I know. Like, we make a lot of friends there and we go into heavy topics, light topics, funny topics, embarrassing topics, anything, you name it. But the point is, no matter the topic, we're all there just to not judge, and we're there to just connect with each other. That's what we do. Because I didn't get to really connect with anybody my whole life, like really connect. Based on the questions and that child security check, you understand why. They keep you from connecting. They make you at a very young age start doubting yourself. Exactly. You need a card. Yeah, Cindy G. Baby, of course she is. She's not giving me a look at all. She's asleep. Punky is asleep. Reese, I'm really struggling right now. DNV, I am so sorry. And I love you. I love you a lot. And please, like, prayers for you. I don't know what's going on. I probably need to look at my messages. I'm sure you've messaged me. The life you give your forever kids is such a blessing for your children. Yes, Anne. I love that. Let God guide you. We go from the meaning of life to pooping your pants. Wait, what is the meaning of life? Exactly, Barbara Waite. I have a 6-month-old grandchild I cannot connect to because I've been told I'm a bad person. So I've disconnected. So I don't. Good Lord, Mindy, I'm so sorry. That is horrific. I don't even know what to say to that. To be honest, I don't know what to say, and I'm sorry. You are a friend here, and I hope you come here to connect with us. You're in good company, and I'm sorry that your family is treating you that way. That's horrific. So thank you for, please hit subscribe. I forgot to ask you that. Please hit subscribe because YouTube unsubscribes you, and sometimes you're just not subscribed and you don't know it. Silver Psychic, it is good to see you again, by the way. I've always felt safe here and calm and at peace when being in the chat and watching your videos. I'm really happy to see you again. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, what's tomorrow? Friday? God, this week went fast. Tomorrow's Friday. Tommy and I need to do a follow-up on his channel about Scientology. We might do that tomorrow night, but we might do it Saturday night. I don't know yet. Exactly. Is there only one kind of love? No, we can show and share love in so many ways to be able to teach those around us. I love that. My husband is a mama's boy. This means he can't be wrong. She can't be wrong. Yeah, I've been married to one of those. That's a really serious struggle. That's not anything to laugh at. That's a serious struggle, DNV. And I wonder if you guys have considered any kind of counseling. You probably have, but I'll have to talk to you about that. Yeah, Mop Man. Guys, I will see everybody on the boat here in about 15 minutes, but thank you for listening. I will be back on my channel tomorrow. Thank you for listening to me tonight. It was kind of, baby, I love you being here too. It was tough for me, but I hope you understand. I love you too, Jan, and thank you for being a member. Thank you for the super sticker tonight. I really, really appreciated that, and I enjoy having you here, Jan. Thank you. Thank you, Mama Bear. That was a gift for me tonight. So thank you for letting me talk about that. Thank you for letting me get it off. I may want to talk more about it. I may want to discuss What is it? I may want to discuss it more. It did help, BB. It helped me a lot, but I may want to talk a little bit more about it just because there's so much more to it. Natalie, thank you for being here. So, guys, I just want to say thanks again. Thank you for watching. Thank you for holding my hand through this and just listening, being with me. That's my love language. Thank you for the super chats. Joanne Hawley, thank you for the giant super chat. That was so kind. It really helps Huxley and I. And thank you for being members, gifting memberships, mods. Thank you. Wowee, girl. Thank you for protecting us, mods. Late slip for Sunday. I'll be there, but late. Okay, Kat will be in the Zoom, but she'll be late. Kat, that's okay. Guys, everybody, you don't have to come on time. It's like an 8-hour call. So it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. As long as I get to see you, and I hope I do. Thank you, Kat, and thank you for the super chat. Pepper Tax, Case Face, you're so kind. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for the super chats, guys. Neptunes, thank you for the gifted memberships tonight. Leslie, thank you for the super sticker. I love you guys. It's okay, Heavenly Heather Lane. I'll probably see you on the boat. Mop Man, no, we know that. We know that. Thank you for letting me know. Neptunes, I'll see you on the boat. And guys, thank you for tonight. Armine, thank you for tonight. This meant a lot. It was kind of heavy, and I just worked through and processed some things. And I'm probably going to need to process a little bit more. But thank you for listening to me, and thank you for all the feedback. Thank you. Love your shorts. That's Debbie Zito. Debbie Zito puts those up, except for the animal ones. I put those up because I just record them and throw them up when it happens. Leslie, I will be on the boat, but Debbie Zito works very hard on my shorts. She is really amazing at that. So thank you. Thank you for noticing, and thank you for watching them. All right, guys, here comes Fred. I will see everybody tomorrow, and I'll see those of you that are coming over on the boat here in a few minutes. Love you all. See you then.